Harry is a middle-aged man who robs houses for a living. After robbing a house one day, as usual, he finds himself torn between continuing with his life or returning to the house he just robbed to save a girl. Since he hardly knows the girl, he tries to convince himself that he shouldn't worry about her, but eventually, he returns to the house in a rush, takes the girl out of the bathtub, and forces her to vomit the pills she had taken to kill herself. As Harry places her on the bed, a scene cuts to a flashback to explain the events leading to this moment. One evening, Harry's girlfriend Lana visits him for a date night. Their relationship is on the verge of collapse as they seem to be disconnected from each other. While they talk, Lana notices a fish tank that he claims to have bought. The movie then cuts to one day ago, showing how Harry actually got it. Harry works with his cousin Chris, and the two of them are closely observing a family who is leaving for a vacation. He captures the entry passcode with his binoculars, and after the family leaves, the two enter the house right away. They collect several expensive things in a matter of minutes. They load them into their truck. While leaving the house, Harry notices a small fish tank and takes it with him. Later, Chris informs Harry that he no longer wants to steal for a living, as he's getting older and wants to do a legitimate job. But Harry laughs it off and doesn't take him seriously. Back in the present, Harry and Lana are having dinner when he tells her that Chris is planning to leave soon. Lana says it's good for Chris that he wants to do a real job and suggests Harry give it a shot as well. However, he dismisses her by saying that he enjoys his work and he's also very good at it. Afterward, the two make love to each other. But just then, Lana decides to break up with Harry due to his cold and distant behavior. However, Harry doesn't seem to be bothered by it and he easily lets her go. Breaking and Exiting is a movie about a burglar named Harry, whose lack of emotional unintelligence causes turbulence in his love life. But at the same time, this charming house thief meets Daisy and saves herself from herself, sending them on a journey of self-discovery and love. Watch till the end to see how their relationship works out. Now, back to the video. The next day, Harry sells all the items he stole earlier and approaches Chris to rob another house. Being firm with his decision, he tells Harry that this will be the last robbery, as he now wants to work a real job. Later, the duo arrives in front of a house and finds out that the owner leaves the key under the mat. After the family leaves, Chris is ready to enter the house, but Harry asks him to hold off because he thinks that the owner will come back to retrieve something he forgot. Chris doesn't believe it, but true to Harry's words, the owner returns to get his charger. After the owner leaves, Chris and Harry go inside the house and start to look for valuable items. Chris stays downstairs to pick up some electronics while Harry heads upstairs. Unfortunately for them, the owner returned once again and is shocked to see Chris inside his home. He chases Chris and nearly catches him, but Harry arrives just in time and beats him with a jar. The two somehow manage to escape and make it back to their house. Chris is horrified by the event, while Harry is thrilled and invites Chris to rob the next house. However, Chris declares that he's had enough and leaves right away. The next day, Harry plans his next mission and tries to get in touch with Chris, but Chris doesn't respond to his calls or texts. He then realizes that perhaps Chris was being serious about quitting and decides to commit the robbery alone. He keys in the gate passcode, which he likely observed earlier, and spray paints the gate sensor. Then he uses the back door to enter the house, which is surprisingly unlocked. After collecting some valuable stuff, Harry goes to use the restroom to relieve himself. However, he's surprised to see a girl in the bathtub who doesn't appear to mind his presence. When he tells her that he's robbing the house, she says it's okay and asks him to close the door before leaving. Then, as he approaches her, Harry notices an empty bottle and realizes that the girl is attempting to kill herself. Harry informs her that the medication she has taken won't kill her, and instead, he helps her in finding another pill that will do the job. She then swallows the pills, while Harry carries on with his robbery and leaves. But sometime later, unable to let the woman die, Harry rushes back to save her life. He forces her to throw up, puts her in bed, and stays there with her to prevent her from taking her life again. That evening, she wakes up and introduces herself as Daisy. As Harry prepares eggs for her, she tells him that her boyfriend Peter broke up with her this morning, and to deal with the pain of heartbreak, she was trying to kill herself. Later, as Harry is eating, Daisy is outside yelling and trying to reach Peter, who does not seem to be responding to her calls. Daisy and Harry get stoned that night, and when Harry asks her why she chose to kill herself in a bathtub, she tells him that if the pills don't work, she can at least drown. But Harry suggests that the swimming pool would be a better option for that, and Daisy responds by saying that she hadn't thought of it. Meanwhile, Harry constantly watches over her and does not let her out of his sight, even while she needs to use the bathroom. Later, they watch a movie together, and Daisy eventually nods off in Harry's arms. The next morning, Harry's continual supervision over Daisy drives her crazy, and she requests that he leave. She argues that there's no use in trying to care for her because she will eventually kill herself. However, Harry patiently informs her that he will leave her alone, but only if she has one dinner with him before killing herself. Daisy agrees to the terms in hopes that he will leave her alone after that. Harry and Daisy ride the motorcycle to buy fish and other ingredients for the dinner. In the evening, he starts cooking as Daisy is outside ranting and leaving voicemails for Peter, who still hasn't answered her calls. As she makes her way upstairs, Harry tells her to get dressed for the occasion since it will be her last dinner. While she's getting ready, Harry is cooking the barbecue, just when Chris finally calls him back. Chris tells him that he has moved on with his life, and the two of them wish each other luck in their respective professions. After finishing his preparation, Harry puts on his best attire for the evening. On the other hand, Daisy also makes her way downstairs beautifully dressed. As they eat, Harry brings up the subject of the afterlife, and he seems to believe more in it than Daisy, who is an atheist. Taking the opportunity of the situation, he tries to get her to open up and learn the reason for her suicidal tendencies. She says that while everyone has at least one happy moment in their life they'll never forget, she has never experienced such joy. Daisy claims that she has always felt hollow and lifeless within, and that she has no reason to carry on living this way. Harry then cheers her up, and the two of them have fun together while singing karaoke and dancing. As they're relaxing by the pool, they're surprised to hear the doorbell ring. It turns out to be the local officers who arrived after a neighbor complained about the noise. The police also interrogate them on the broken door, but Harry and Daisy handle it by acting like a couple and expressing apologies to the policemen. After the police leave, Daisy has a mood swing and becomes irritated with Harry's stubbornness in trying to stop her from killing herself. Following a brief argument, she gets a call from Peter and goes outside to pick it up. Seeing this, Harry becomes upset and tries to leave after realizing that there's no point in trying to persuade her. It seems like Daisy has been attaching herself to those who have caused her problems. As he starts the car to leave, Daisy jumps in front of him. She asks him to stay, but Harry screams at her, claiming he does not understand what she wants. He tells her that he will leave her to do as she pleases from now on. After that, he drives off, and Daisy goes inside and has an emotional breakdown. While Harry stops to fill up his car, he convinces himself that he does not care about her. But no matter how hard he tries, he finds it tough to give up on her. He returns back to her home right away, worrying she might have hurt herself. When he reaches her home, Harry discovers that all the doors are locked, but then he remembers that he had earlier given her the idea to drown in the pool, so he goes there. Fortunately, he finds her there floating and immediately pulls her out. Daisy is surprised by Harry's unwavering determination and asks him about it, but even Harry doesn't know why he cares about her. He places her to bed and then plans to leave, but Daisy asks him to stay and they sleep together. In the middle of the night, Daisy is having trouble falling asleep, so she wakes him up. Then, while they are dancing, Daisy asks Harry how he knows she won't kill herself again, to which he responds that she closed all the doors as if she wanted him to find her. Then, they kiss each other and they make love. The next morning, Harry gets up early and starts making breakfast. However, he's startled when Peter and his fiancée Cynthia show up in the house. It turns out that is Peter's home, and Daisy no longer resides there after their breakup. It's revealed that Peter cheated on Daisy with her ex-best friend Cynthia, who is currently pregnant with his baby. Meanwhile, Peter tells Harry to stay away from Daisy, claiming she's insane and has mental problems. He tries to call the police, but Harry snatches his phone and throws it away. Before leaving, Harry asks Daisy to express her feelings to those who have wronged her. Letting it all out, Daisy scolds Cynthia and Peter for all the troubles and heartaches they've caused her. Afterward, Harry and Daisy arrive at his house only to find out that he's been robbed. The movie ends with Harry narrating that life is a summary of the decisions we make, and that each day is an opportunity to decide what we want. Furthermore, he adds that right now, the best decision you could probably make is to watch this video from Relaxed Recaps.